He's been the only Democrat that's willing to work with this administration as a mayor. Chicago resisting, LA resisting, and it looks like Tom Homan has accepted the invitation from Mayor Adams to have a meeting today to talk about what they're going to do once he takes off.
Right. We're not asking for a lot.
No.
We're asking for access to criminals.
That's right.
Detainers honored. Give ICE a chance. By the way, I thought it was a great, Robert Holden, a Democrat from Queens, said, if you want to show that Mayor Adams, talk is great, but if you want to show that you're sincere, set up the ICE office at Rikers again.
Tom Homan is targeting blue cities like Chicago with plans for a large-scale deportation effort of legal and criminal immigrants, and he is calling out their leaders for failing their communities. Homan lays out exactly why these cities are in trouble and what needs to happen to fix them. Homan told citizens of Chicago, "Your mayor sucks and your governor sucks." The blue cities are in for a rude awakening.
Because they closed it down because they don't want to let
He's also
those ICE.
considering, Eric Adams is also considering getting rid of the sanctuary city status.
That's right. So Tom Homan pictured right there is going to be meeting with the mayor of New York.
Pushing.
It's interesting. On Monday night, Tom Homan was at an event and he revealed, we know that the deportation plan, on a wide scale, you know what American city they're going to start in? They're going to start in Chicago. He was a guest Monday night at a holiday party for Law and Order PAC. This is one of the quotes, according to CBS in Chicago. Tom Homan said, Chicago's in trouble because your mayor sucks and your governor sucks. And so he said it's going to start in Chicago right after the inauguration. And Homan asked the Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker to come to the table and help with the biggest deportation in history. And here's the other quote. He said, if your mayor doesn't want to help, he can step aside.
These sanctuary city mayors have been skirting federal laws for years, and it is their communities that are paying the price. If they are not willing to cooperate, then step aside and let someone else do the job. And the idea of prosecuting leaders who knowingly harbor illegal immigrants, that is the kind of accountability we need more of. Why should they be allowed to openly defy the law without consequences?
There's Johnson right there. But if he impedes us, Tom Homan said, if he knowingly harbors or conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him. So that's new. Now Tom Homan is suggesting if these people in the sanctuary city do impede the federal government, he's going to press charges.
Well, you can't harbor felons.
No.
You can't. There's already a federal statute. And that's all they're saying right now is that when we come to pick them up, they're already in custody.
Right.
Or they're already in a certain community. The residents are upset. Just let us just get out of the way.
Proof from the residents themselves. Listen to them speaking out against their mayor. Watch.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, you took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Or when you took an oath, was it only intended to fight for the 10th and 14th Amendments regarding illegal aliens?
We don't want illegals in our community. We don't want migrants terrorizing our own people. And to have y'all sit up here and say, we have to accept $70 million being given to them when you got black people who are already struggling and need help, it is a disgrace.
All people. And that, by the way, we could have played 12 of these.
Yeah. No.
So the people agree with Tom. Well, and you could see in that wide shot, you could see that some people were wearing, you could see red shirts. You know what the red shirt said? Chicago flips red. So essentially, he's getting in. Well, let me just finish this up. So essentially, those people who are showing up are suggesting, okay, you don't listen to me. Just remember, politics have consequences, and we could flip this town red, which would be rare.
I'm so glad this is their message.
Chicago residents, like many residents of other cities, are fed up. Their message is simple: take care of the people who already live here legally before prioritizing illegal immigrants. And they are not wrong. It is not racist or extreme to want safe neighborhoods and responsible spending. It is basic governance. The fact that they even have to make this argument shows just how out of touch their city leaders are.
I mean,
Gianno Caldwell's brother was killed there, and it's very dangerous already. The money needs to go to the residents. It doesn't need to go to the illegals.
Well, Ainsley, and when I was there a few months ago, they're showing this now. We're showing this now, but we covered this leading up to the election.
Yeah.
They have shut down schools of kids in the community. They said they didn't have any money for it. And then
Why
they
did not
reopened them.
to shut them down.
Well, they shut them down because the
couldn't afford
city
the
said,
airport.
it is an airport. They said, we don't have any money to fund this school or this community center. But then they reopened them, found the money magically for the illegals there.
Yeah.
Y'all remember when I was in there as well? I was outside of one of the holding facilities. There's drug bags all outside of the place where they clearly have some type of illegal substance there. And the residents have been crying out for help for a long time, and the mayor is still giving a backhand.
I know. Why is the mayor
It's
not
crazy.
listening to the people?
But you know what's interesting is that the people he thinks he's representing, he doesn't understand. He's going by an old playbook. He thinks that if I go to the bat for inner city America or for minorities in my city, I'm going to make the hard decision against the law enforcement. But law enforcement and his people actually agree. He's the impediment.
Yes.
So is the Denver mayor the impediment.
Yeah.
Denver is falling apart, crushing on its own weight. Per capita, more illegals, more immigrants than even New York City. And all this mayor cares about, I'm going to fight for my people. Do you understand that your people are asking you to get out of the way?
And he once agreed.
Yeah.
He told us in the interview that they're their breaking point. Magically, when Donald Trump is elected, then he turns back to the same old thing. So you can't just resist because it's Trump. You get to do what your people are asking you to do.
And the Chicago people are simply saying, look, you're spending too much money on the migrants. And you know what? You know what I think the people of Chicago would like? A Department of Government Efficiency.
How long is
They need a Doge in
Do you
Chicago.
know how long he's in office?
Well, he just
I know
got
he's
that.
like a year ago?
Yeah, it's like a year, 2.5 years, I would say. I'd say also they are in the
They got to
red.
get it right. They
Yeah,
got to
in the
get
red.
it right in Chicago. They
thing.
continue to elect these individuals that,
And that's
that
why
aren't
Tom,
common sense.
and that's why Tom Homan is starting in Chicago. The crazy thing is he was second and they had the runoff and he ends up winning.
But Chicago reminds me of New York. Remember, they were great cities, great cities. I still love New York. Y'all know I love New York, but it's different.
Chicago is beautiful.
Chicago was a clean mini New York. I used to always say, I
trouble.
love to go visit my college friends in Chicago. But now we're hearing all these stories of how, I mean, Carly used to live there. They had an apartment there. Her husband.
Yeah. And there was I will never forget the mass shooting that took place outside our old apartment in Chicago, just across the
Nice
street.
area.
Yes.
Nice area,
Beautiful area. Drive-by shooting.
All the
At a
great
gas
stores on
station
Michigan
and-
Avenue, a lot of
yeah.
them were closing down.
Exactly. And an innocent person was hit. So that's a jarring reality for a lot of people living in Chicago.
Tom Homan is stepping in where local leaders have failed, and it is clear he is not afraid to take on the sanctuary city chaos head on. These policies are not helping anyone. They are hurting the very communities they claim to protect. What do you think? Will this be the wake-up call cities like Chicago need? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more bold and unapologetic content.